energy in here is amazing.
I
love it. Hey, y'all.
You can come in kind of tired and they fuel you right up. It's yeah, they're beautiful. I love the audience here. So wait, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be part of it.
Well, yesterday we had two of Josh and Blayne's colleagues here, Keith Morrison and Andrea, and they had some advice for Blayne.
Advice that for you, Blayne, is to be yourself. You know, you're here because of you and what you've accomplished, and just keep being a great mom and find a way to make this show work for you as a mom. You can have it all. That's my advice. You can have it all, Blayne.
I guess so. But the most important thing is, don't be like Josh.
Okay. Is that really fair?
Go for it. Yeah. Accurate.
Okay, Josh, we love you.
I keep hearing that. Somehow I keep hearing that bit of advice.
Yeah, when I hear that from Keith, all I can think of is, oh.
Oh my God, I love your relationship. Yeah. Okay, you say, speaking of mama, she was talking about being a mama and working, and you can have it all. I agree with that. But you say that being a mom kind of impacts how you approach the stories, right?
So my second Dateline episode I ever did was about this young man who lost his mom. She was murdered when he was just a kid, like 10, 11 years old. And even though he's grown, he's a professional man now, when we sat down in that chair and we talked, he reverted back to that little boy. And at the time I was shooting it, I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. So I think that it brought out something. I asked those questions and related to him in a way that I wouldn't have maybe 5 years ago before I became a mom. Yeah. So I think it's all about bringing your whole self to these stories and really kind of telling them in the best way possible.
Yeah, because everyone's different. So you're going to bring something different to the table. I couldn't agree more.
Which is why she's going to be great at this, because this is about, I mean, those interviews, they're like 2-3 hours long sometimes. So it's a little bit like improv. Like, you don't know what they're going to say. And you got to be listening, and you got to be able to react to that. And sometimes that interview, which you think is going to go here, goes somewhere else. And you got to be ready for that.
Got to invest. You got to, yeah, absolutely. Well, you've attracted a big fan base, but who has surprised you most?
Oh, so I was, this is, you know, I don't know, like 15 years ago. I was in line at an event in LA, and the line was very long. And so I said sort of out loud, I'm like, wow, we're going to be here a while. And all of a sudden, the guy in front of me turns around, who I hadn't noticed. And he's like, I'd know that voice anywhere. And he goes, I'm Henry Winkler. And I'm like,
he's the nicest human.
I'm like, yeah, I know you are. Yeah. Yeah. And he's like the nicest guy alive.
He is the nicest guy. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's got to be interesting because, you know, you're covering all these, you know, stories. I don't know how y'all decompress after those, but it's got to be interesting. So many people. I mean, there's a reason why the show's been on for so long.
I know.
That you really are in everyone's household, and people really feel like they probably know you, and they know all these stories because of you. So it's like a different relationship with the fans.
That's one thing that Blayne's going to have to get ready for, is that you're walking through an airport and somebody says, I fell asleep during the mystery at Cedar Creek. And I'm like, which one is that?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it was a guy, and it looked like maybe he killed his wife. I'm like, that's all of them.
That does not, right? That does not hone it in, buddy.
Got somebody's name? Yeah. But you do get asked a lot about that, because people feel like, you know, I saw part of your story and then I had to leave, or I dozed off in the middle of it because it was too
Which no one wants to hear that, by the way. I fell asleep watching your piece. I'm like, thank you.
I've gotten comfortable with the end. I've put millions to sleep.
And that's what makes Dateline so special, right? Like, if you watch, you know that what you're going to get from a Keith episode or an Andrea episode or Josh or Dennis. Like, everybody brings their own kind of special sauce to the show. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it so special. And I've got to say something about this one. I call him like my fairy godfather. Josh really has. I mean, he has called me, he's given me advice, just walked me through it. And so this team has been so welcoming too.
Oh,
it's
that's beautiful to have like such a supportive crew. It's amazing. Well, everybody, you can see new episodes of Dateline Fridays on NBC. We'll be right back.